to another episode of the Alamo City Sportscast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your hosts as it helps the show grow.
What's up, San Antonio? What's up, South Texas? This is the Alamo City Sportscast coming at you from San Antonio, Texas, the home of the Spurs, the UTSA Roadrunners. We are big into sports, pop culture, and nostalgia. My name is Mike Jimenez. Joe Garcia producing today's show. Joe, we're going to have a good show today, my man. You know why? Yeah. We have a special guest. We're not even going to wait.
No.
Let's bring him on. Wrestling legend Bill Goldberg joins us today. How are you doing today, Goldberg?
Morning, gentlemen. How we doing?
Dude,
doing great.
Thank you so much for supporting local podcasting, local sports podcasting. And, you know, you are a resident of Boerne, correct? So first things first, what brought you to Boerne? You can live anywhere in the country. What brought you to Boerne?
Well, I wanted to get away from, I don't know, how you say California in a nice way. But, you know, I grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Not many people know that. And I'm a Midwest guy. My father was an obstetrician. My mom was a concert violinist. But I'm just a blue-collar dude, man.
Yeah.
And so after living out in California for, I'd say it was about 18 years, mainly because of proximity, because of Hollywood. And, you know, I was on a number of shows and just made it a lot easier to get to work if I lived in California. So, but business has kind of segued to where productions are not just done in Hollywood anymore. A matter of fact, that's probably the last place people want to shoot movies anymore. So you see the South, the Midwest, as far as the new places for production companies to pop up. So taking that into consideration, I wanted to get out of there and I wanted to raise my family in the Midwest again. And, you know, for me, the pulse of the country is there. Hardworking people, God-fearing people, family first. And that's where I wanted to be. That's the type of surrounding I wanted my son to grow up in. And Steve Austin's a very good friend of mine. And Steve and I were talking. And Steve used to live here in Boerne. And it's a funny story, but I was doing the Gold Rush Rally. It was an automotive rally across the country. And they made a stop in San Antonio. And ironically, I was looking at a house at the time. And they had a night where they stayed up at La Cantera, which is 20 minutes from Boerne. And I took it upon myself to come look at the house real quick and kill two birds with one stone. Absolutely loved the place, loved the surroundings, loved the privacy, and most importantly, the proximity. And, you know, the next thing that happened was I did an episode of NCIS. I got home in San Diego about 1:30 in the morning and woke up at 4:30 to catch a 6 a.m. flight out here to San Antonio and have not looked back.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And, you know, I have a friend who owns a liquor store up in that area, says that George Strait just walks in, you know, just the comfortability for even those who are celebrities to go in and walk around and not be too bothered. Don't get me wrong. You're going to have fans wherever you go, but joined by Goldberg, wrestling legend, actor. You do everything, man. I'm looking at your IMDb, your career. If you went back in time to the Goldberg that you were back in college and you knew the story that you have now, I mean, could you have believed it? Could you have envisioned the career that you've had both on wrestling, acting, and all those things that you've done in your life?
No, I mean, let's be perfectly honest, man. You know, there are a number of different type of people in the world. And I don't like to spin in one spot. I don't like to be a hamster on a wheel. And so I always try to reinvent myself. I'm not comfortable in the space that I'm currently living in. I try to always work for tomorrow. So I don't know if it's that or I haven't been good at anything and I kind of have to dabble in everything at the same time. But just work your butt off. Don't listen to anybody. And if any negativity enters your mind, then use it as a positive. So I represent the hardworking individual. I don't take anything for granted. I've been extremely lucky in my life. I've been in the right time at the right place. I haven't been talented enough, I believe, to garner the greatness, but my hard work has gotten me there. So, if anything, it's a testament to never giving up and constantly working to the next day be better than you were the day before.
I love what you're just saying there, because I kind of share that sentiment with them as well. I'm a hard worker. I work 12, 15 hours a day producing this show, going into work, working 10, 12 hours a day at my 9-to-5 job. And, some days you just want to give up, but you just got to push through it. You can't.
100%. Currently right now, I'm in talks with a major network about putting Goldberg's Garage back on television. But in the past 6 months, 8 months, I've been kind of a one-man show here at Goldberg's Garage, and we've been doing YouTube videos, and I've been having local veterans, come to the shop, and I take them out for thrill rides, and I'm just trying to give back, along with compadres and the Purple Heart, Foundation here. There's not a day that we don't try to put a smile on a veteran's face. And so I guess what I'm getting at here is I've got one cameraman who does my show with me, and he and I are it, right?
Yeah.
So I have no producer. I am the on-field producer. So for me to have the ability to do what I want and control my setting, I'm able on a 200-acre ranch to do Goldberg's Garage here kind of by myself, but I choose to do that, right? So I've reinvented myself in that now I'm a videographer. Now I'm, trying to edit a little bit, trying to be as creative as humanly possible. And these are things that I've never had to do because I've always paid other people to do it. But now with a little bit of time on my hands, I enjoy doing it myself. I'm an active participation guy, so I'm trying to learn. And as you see in the background, my life now, not only quite obviously is my family, but my cars are my life. And I very much enjoy spending time out here. I got a 3,000 square foot gym upstairs. And this is my happy place.
Yeah.
And, I can sit out I can work on a car for 4 hours, break my knuckles and pop open a beer, sit on my porch and watch zebras and kangaroos jump by my garage.
Yeah, so, it's a labor of love.
It's truly heaven. It really is. And the town here and San Antonio in itself, I've always had very fond memories of coming back here and wrestling, but now calling it home and watching our son grow up here and participate in all the athletics, throughout the last 4 or 5 years. It's been a dream come true. It truly has. Now that dream will be extended tonight if we kick Tyvee's butt. But that Gage is playing at Boerne Champion, and they've got a big game, a big series tonight with Tyvee. We beat Tyvee 2 out of 3 games, and we move on to the next round of the state playoffs for baseball and for 5A. And these kids got 3rd in the state last year, and Gage is catching for them, and they've got a great team. And it's you hold your breath, but you always go out there as if it's your last game. And if it was the last game, today is today's the 16th.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 7 days from now, my son graduates.
Wow.
And 8 days from now, he will be on a plane headed to Boulder, Colorado.
That's right.
Nice.
Because he's reporting on the 25th at 8 o'clock in the morning. But if we're still in the playoffs, all of it has to be put on hold. So my son made a commitment to his friends, to his team, and most importantly, to his coach, and he's going to ride it through. He's extremely excited about going and playing for Dion at Colorado, wants to get started there like yesterday. He's got marching orders already from him, and as exciting as that is, it's not going to happen until we finish what we came here to do.
Now, for those who don't know, your son is a linebacker, Boerne champion, has committed to Colorado. Primetime, Deion Sanders, turning that program around. It's one of those things. He was your college teammate back in the day over at Georgia.
No, he and I actually played together at Atlanta.
Atlanta. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, people ask me about Dion and our relationship, and I can only describe it in one sentence. I was on the developmental squad when I first got to the Falcons. Yeah. Dion was making $1 million a week. Why in God's name would he be friends with me? Right?
Interesting.
Give me the time of day. Well, I mean, logic's going to tell you that, the big boys hang out with the big boys. But we had something in common, and we saw eye to eye with a lot of things, and we became extremely good friends. And that's a friendship that'll last an eternity. And when you're a parent sending your son off to college out of state, it's a tumultuous time. I mean, I'm doing this interview so I don't have to be at senior day making a speech to the seniors, because I probably would be as one of them. So, it's been a wonderful time here, and our boy's ready for the next step, and he's been extremely lucky to have been coached by some great people around here, and there's some great people as his teammates, and I can't thank the surroundings enough for opening their arms and letting us in and accepting us like that.
What's with the recruiting like? When did Dion approach you? Did you approach Dion when it came to your son?
I approached Dion when Gage was a freshman. And I said, you just save a spot for us. Okay. And it's been you and I, we could do a podcast based on his athletic background. And we still wouldn't have time to explain it all, but here's the skin. College recruiting is totally different now. COVID killed it. The NIL has changed the landscape exponentially. And the problem is if you're a two-sport athlete in high school, you're completely left out of the mix. An example is that all of the rivals camps, all the preseason camps that these high school football players can attend, that's where they get the stars. That's where they get rated. Mm-hmm. But what if your kid's still playing in the state baseball championship 2 days before the football season? Then what does that kid do? I could have been a Marinovich, and I could have told my son to hang up his baseball cleats 3 years ago and concentrate on the one thing that was going to get him to college. But his love of baseball can't be denied. And I didn't let him play football till he was in 9th grade. So he didn't have the inherent love for football that I have. I didn't think, but so it's very tough if you're wanting to get recruited in either sport. If you unilaterally, as a sophomore, junior, and senior, play both of those sports, which excludes you from the off-season camps that rate you as a 1, 2 to 5 star. So he never was rated, never went to any of those camps, always was behind the eight, missed spring football, all of this stuff because of baseball. But as a parent, you're only a kid one time. And I'm not going to take away the ability to possibly go to state playoffs and be, an all-state catcher and just go out there and kill it. He's had 3 kids steal bases on him the entire season.
Wow.
Okay. This kid's pop time is, it's rivaling, some of these MLB guys. But he wants to play football, right? And Colorado doesn't have a baseball team, so it's a dichotomy, right? It's a conundrum in that his heart is one place, but it's still, it's tough. And Coach Woodchick, if you're listening to this, now you know that Gage is staying because I haven't told you. But tonight I'm going to tell you face to face before the game. Nobody knows. It's all hearsay. Oh, I hear Gage is leaving. Well, if they think that my son is shunning his responsibility to his best friends and his coach, it ain't happening. Nice. So we're here and we're going to finish it out. Hopefully we kick Tybie's butt tonight and tomorrow night and we move on. But the reality is if not, the 24th, we're packing up and we're headed to Boulder, Colorado. So,
now, how intimidating is it for a Tybee parent to see you tonight?
No, we have a very healthy rivalry with Tybee.
Yeah.
It didn't take me long as a Boerne parent to realize that the hatred is real between the two programs. And, one of Gage's best friends is their number one or number two pitcher. And he beat us last time. And we're going to beat him this time. So
nice.
As much as I love him, it's a healthy competition, and that's what sports is all about. It truly is. And I'm just ecstatic that we moved to a place that's so wholesome and people are just great here. They really are.
I'm a high school basketball official, and Boerne champion, Tybee, those areas. I've done a lot of games out there in the past.
So
it hums. I've done basketball games before where the ball doesn't dribble half the time because of the vibration of the floors.
Yeah.
People just rattling their feet on the wood.
It's going to be big tonight.
It's amazing. It's amazing. We've talked a lot about your son and the values that you're instilling in him. The fact that you moved from California to Boerne, Texas, to kind of give him a good life and for you to get the acres of land and for you to have that oasis, that paradise that you were talking about. What if he wants to follow your footsteps, whether it be acting, whether it be wrestling? What if he wants to follow your footsteps? What do you say then as a father?
Gage grew up with the wrestling thing. I think I am to blame because I came out of retirement when he was about 6 years old, and I did it for him, and I did it because he'd seen me on YouTube, and he hears people talk about it, but he'd never experienced it in real time. So to answer your question, I don't care if my son wants to play badminton. Doesn't matter. As long as he invests his entire soul into being the best that he can be, I don't care what he does. As long as he's a good person, I don't care what he does. As long as he's a leader, I don't care what he does. Doesn't matter. We need those type of people in the world again. And it's going to take parents like me to raise kids like him to be our future leaders. So I'm very proud at the man he has become, and he's only just begun.
We got a question for you from one of our listeners here. He's asking, Jonathan C., thanks for the super chat. He says, do you own a Plymouth Superbird?
And I do not. I actually built one a number of years ago, and we sold it at Barrett Jackson got about $600,000 for the Darrell Gwynn Foundation. So I've built one and I've had one, but I gave it away for charity. And I'd love to have another one, but people in hell want ice water. So I think there's a couple other things before I get that. So
what's your favorite car you got in your garage? Because we see a whole bunch of them behind you.
Oh, man, I'm a Dodge guy, but my favorite car is I got a 1970 Boss 429 Mustang called the Lawman. If you want, Google it and it'll pop up. It's the only automatic Boss 429 in the world. And what makes it so special to me is not that it's original and it's got 800 miles on it and it's the only automatic in the world, but it was campaigned in Vietnam during the early 70s as a morale booster for the troops. And I can't tell you how meaningful that is to me. And as much as I try to give back, you never can give back enough. But having ownership of this thing and knowing that over 200,000 to 300,000 servicemen saw it back in the day, and it evoked, it evoked the red, white, and blue, to the men and women when they were in country in compromising positions. So I'm very proud to own it, and actually it's in my son's name, so it's his vehicle now.
You've mentioned a lot about veterans. How did you get involved in veterans groups and veterans charities?
I was asked and I said yes. It was amazing because I never thought that I could move from Oceanside, California to a more veteran or currently enlisted place ever. But I moved here, and what a blessing. It truly is. I remember I used to go down to Pendleton, and I used to put the Lawman, the Boss 429, on a trailer. And when the CO would call me and tell me that there's 200,000 to 500,000 or 2,000 to 5,000 servicemen coming back from deployment, and they all come in on the white buses and they all pull up and they go to the parking lot at Pendleton. Well, I'd go out there hours before they were supposed to get there, and I'd park the lawman right in the middle of the parking lot. And the feeling that those boys get when they see the red, white, and blue and 1,200 horsepower and it says United States Marine Corps on the side of it, it's a pretty cool deal. And I've met a number of kids whose fathers actually have photos of that car and them in that car in Vietnam. And that's what it's all about.
So we've talked a lot about, what you're doing these days, but when you look back at your career, your wrestling career, obviously WWE Hall of Famer, what's the 1 or 2 or 3 memories that pop up that you go, man, when I'm old and gray and I finally am just resting and not doing much, these are the memories that I'm going to have? What are the 2 or 3 that you're going to look back fondly at?
Well, I mean, the biggest one is, I got to wrestle Hulk Hogan at the Georgia Dome, where I helped open the stadium with the Atlanta Falcons, live on television on a Monday night in front of 45,000 people. I got to wrestle Hulk Hogan and I got to beat him. And the feeling that I got going out there was like coming home. People had posters of me and my, University of Georgia stuff. And it was the coolest night of my life. Well, it was not the coolest night of my life. It was the coolest night of my wrestling life.
Yeah.
But it was the coolest night of my wrestling life, not because of anything wrestling related. It was the coolest because at the end of the night, after I beat Hogan and after I raised my hand with the belt, we went off the air and the NWO beat the living doo-doo out of me.
Oh,
and
man.
they handcuffed me to the turnbuckle. And lo and behold, who came to my aid? The entire Atlanta Falcons. And nobody knows that because we went off the air. But the 2 minutes that I spent in that ring watching my former teammates that I bled with, I cried with, I sweat with, I worked my ass off with, they wanted to be me. And all I wanted to do my entire life is be them. So it all came kind of full circle at that point, and it was pretty awesome. I mean, I had accomplished something at that point that I really had to stop and take a deep breath and really realize where I was. And to this day, it was one of the coolest moments of my life because my friends were there.
Hey, I got to ask you a question because one of our listeners asked it right now. They said, what was it like working with the great Eddie Guerrero? Because he's a very we have fond memories of Eddie Guerrero because we're all Latino here in San Antonio. So we love Latino representation in the WWE. And Eddie, he was amazing. He had that presence, and we loved his entrances coming in with the low rider and everything. We just loved Eddie. But how was it like, working with him?
I got to say, man, that Guerrero family had such a huge impact on me when I was coming up, and they would take the time, unlike others who felt threatened, they would take the time to make sure I knew the basics. They would, whether it was Eddie or Chavo was, he was great with me. Just the entire family, I have nothing but unbelievably fond memories of all of our interactions, because in this day and age, a lot of people have ulterior motives. Whether you're a psychology major like me and you can tell it, it's the case. That family never had an ulterior motive except for to make you better than you were before. And that you have to take your hat off to, and that you have to cover your heart for, and you have to be appreciative that you run into people with such good character.
Now, a few weeks ago, we had Ross and Marshall Von Erich on this show, and they're living that legacy of their father as well. And the movie Iron Claw came out last year. Did you get a chance to watch that movie? And what are your thoughts of Ross and Marshall doing their thing, also live in the San Antonio area?
I don't get excited very often, but when I heard that the Von Erichs had bought property in Boerne, I was excited, right? Mm-hmm. I was not a wrestling fan growing up, even though I did watch Texas Championship Wrestling with my grandmother and the Von Erichs and Bruiser Brody and, Tony Atlas. And those were some very fond memories of mine. And God, where am I on this? What was your question again?
Well, a question about the legacy of the Von Erichs, and also
yeah. Sorry about that.
Did you get a chance to watch the movie as well?
I had heard that they had moved in town, and they're, like I said, I don't get excited very often. I do not go out of my way to meet people. But there was a Salvation Army event in town, and they had invited me to it. I've been doing stuff with Salvation Army here in San Antonio for 5 years. And I wanted to go just to meet the Von Erichs, right? And I got to say, I was not disappointed by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know if you guys know a lot about me, but I'm a substance person. I don't care what business you're in. I don't care how good you are or how bad you are. None of that matters, because at the end of the day, you got to be a good person. I don't care how much money or how much fame you have. None of that's going to outlast if you're a prick. Pardon me. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine.
So I wanted to meet these kids, and I've got to say, not only their father, who was an absolute honor to meet, but meeting the two kids and speaking to them and getting a little bit of a background as to their philosophy. And fortunately, they're fans of mine. It was awesome. It really was. And I love those kids. And they follow Gage. They talk to Gage more than they talk to me. They're big fans of Gage. And that just warms my heart, man. And this, like I say, and I'm going to keep alluding to it, in this day and age when people aren't really good people deep down inside, you cannot beat that family. You really can't. And, they've had some tragedy, quite obviously, throughout the years. And you just can't make better human beings than those guys.
What did you think of the movie? Did you ever get a chance to watch it?
No, I don't watch. I stay as far away from the wrestling business and the following of it as possible. I heard it was a terrific movie, and I should watch it. And I should watch it for them. So
it was very good. It got snubbed for the Oscars, to be honest with you, because it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It was an amazing movie. Zac Efron did an amazing job. Before we let you go, we talked a little bit about the acting side of things, and you've done so much from NCIS Los Angeles. I remember that funny episode of the Goldbergs where you were Coach Meller's brother. That was a great thing. Beverly Goldberg going after you on that one. Do the roles come to you, or do you go to the roles?
Oh, they come to me, man. I don't, again, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm nothing but a defensive lineman. That's all I am. Anything that comes my way that I get the opportunity to grasp and take part in is a blessing, because I'm just a meat-headed defensive lineman. I don't seek out big movie. I'm not that guy. I just leave me alone on my ranch. I got 200 acres. I got four-wheelers. I got thousands of guns. We've got exotics, and I've got my family, which is the most important thing in the world. So I've got a couple of things on the horizon out in Hollywood. We'll see. I mean, you never know. One is obviously a wrestler. It's in a new series. I'll mention more about it soon, but I don't know if I can do those things and still have my normal life, then I'll continue to do them. But again, I'm probably going to be traveling to Boulder every weekend, or another state in close proximity to watch football. So I put my life on hold basically for 5 years, pretty much because of my son. And I would have it no other way. I really would.
What was your favorite role, and what was your favorite set to be on? Movie or a TV show?
Well, I mean, hands down, it was The Longest Yard. I mean, there were, forget about the level of all the people that were in the movie. They were just, it was a cornucopia of great people and very entertaining people. And I mean, Adam Sandler is one of the nicest human beings on the planet. Take away his fame, take away his money, take away everything. He's a great guy. I'll tell you a quick story about Adam. 3.5 weeks before The Longest Yard goes to theaters, I get an invitation to go to the USS Ronald Reagan and spend the night out in the bay on the Ronald Reagan, an aircraft carrier, with my brothers. 4,500 people on that boat, international waters. I made a phone call to Adam and asked him if there was any way humanly possible to get a copy of The Longest Yard and play it out in international waters 3.5 weeks before it goes to theaters for 4,500 servicemen who lay their life on the line every single damn day for us. And guess what happened?
Showed up.
The next morning, somebody drove down from LA with a briefcase and they was handcuffed to him. And I'll be damn if we didn't show that movie 3.5 weeks out in international waters before it hit the theaters, which is something that is unheard of. But out of the goodness of his heart, he made it happen.
Nice.
No publicity, no nothing. Nobody knows about it but me and all the people that were on the boat. And he's not going to go pat his back he's not going to. He's just a great human. So if that doesn't describe what quality person he is, then I don't know what.
Hey, Goldberg, we have a question here. It's Gert. One of our listeners is from the Netherlands, and he's a recovering heart patient. He's lost over 75 pounds this past year, and he's a big fan of yours and your career. He's admired your physique for quite some time. He's like, do you have any physique tips, workout tips for him so he can get in shape?
Man, I'm a multi-joint, multi-movement guy. I like to get in the gym, and I like to put my headphones on or turn the stereo on, and I don't stop until I'm finished. So I like to superset a lot of things, especially at an older age when I'm not throwing up 500 pounds on the bench like I used to. I like to go lower weight, and I like to superset stuff, especially with old age, and especially with injuries. And I'm actually considering right now going out and getting some stem cells, and it's the bioaccelerator up in Austin. So every single day you have to get off your ass and move. That's the biggest part about getting older, is people being sedentary and getting atrophy and then not using the muscles. Therefore, they're going to disappear. So you have to be an active participant. I don't care how old you are.
Today is the 1-year anniversary of the Spurs getting Victor Wembanyama. Have you become a Spurs fan yet? I think I saw something online with you with the Spurs jersey on. What kind of advice would you give Wemby? What kind of advice would you give the Spurs on how to handle Wemby?
Man, they don't need any advice from me. I'm astonished and completely amazed how they, in the current landscape, can get 3 unbelievable representatives for their team over the number of decades, whether it's David Robinson,
Tim Duncan,
and now Wemby. Forget about how good they all are. Look at the character of all 3 of these kids. Man, you talk about a leader. You talk about somebody to hang your hat on. Unbelievable how they've been able to get 3 of them. And I think Wemby is no different than the 2 prior. He's going to fill that spot, and he's going to be successful in his career. And I think he'll be someone that stays with the Spurs. And that's all I can do. Quality character kid, and he just so happens to be an unbelievable basketball player. So I'm hoping for big things, and I think it's just right around the corner for he and the Spurs.
Well, we appreciate you being on here.
Yeah.
You were a lot longer than we had anticipated. We really do appreciate it. This show, by the way, we do sports, pop culture, and nostalgia. That's kind of the 3 things, the 3 pillars that we like to talk about, but it's also uplifting things as well. I think we like to know people, get to know them as a man, as opposed to the athlete, as opposed to the actor or whoever they may be.
Yes, sir.
Real fast, if I was to get into your phone and listen to music that you have on, whether it be Spotify, Apple Play, or whatnot, what are you listening to right now in the garage? When you turn this off and you're working on the cars, what music are you listening to?
AC/DC, Back in Black. I just turned it off.
Yeah, brother.
I just turned it off so I could hear you guys.
Yeah.
I'm an old school rock and roll guy, period, end of story.
Is there a bucket list performer that you haven't seen yet? Is there a concert that you want to go to, or something that you want to go, an event that you want to go to that you haven't gone to yet?
I'd like to see Metallica in person. I always thought they were too heavy metal for me. And so I never really went out and actively searched like an album of theirs. But the past number of years, I've kicked myself in the butt, not being a full fan over the past 30 years of my life. So I think that's something that I'd like to go do. And I don't go to too many concerts, I can tell you that.
Yeah, we try to make this an uplifting thing as we say goodbye to you right now. Any advice for the men watching this show? Because a lot of people who watch this show, they say, hey, we are recovering from health issues. We are going through bad relationships, divorces, or maybe changing of jobs and whatnot. This is kind of their escape. We want to make this a positive thing. If you were to give like a football locker room speech to people and give some advice as to how they should start the day, what would that advice be?
I put a quote out this morning on my Instagram stories, and it said, what did it say? People will quit on you. You have to make sure that doesn't affect you, and you got to get up every single day and give 100%. So doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter what your DMs say. It doesn't matter what anyone says. At the end of the day, you look yourself in the mirror and you say, I got this. And you go out with 100% fervor that you have every day of your life, and you go kick its butt. Whatever it may be, whatever trivial task it is, just give 1,000% and have conviction in what you do and stand for your family. Fight for your family and fight for what you believe is right.
Good luck to your son tonight and this weekend. Hopefully Bernie Champion kicks Tyvee's ass tonight and this weekend and keeps going. Congratulations to you also as a father as well, because, my daughter, I moved her to college. She went to LSU. I moved her out to college a few years ago, and that's an experience. That's an emotional experience. I cried at the end. I'll be honest with you. That happened to me. I don't know if that's going to happen to you, but
I'm crying right now. You just can't tell because I'm an actor.
You are everything. You are a wrestling legend. You are a TV star. You are a movie star, and you are an overall badass. Thank you for supporting the troops as well. And anything that we can do at the Alamo City Sportscast to take part in anything that you've got going on, any charity events, we will line up strong to make sure that we're represented as well. Please reach out to us. You have my email as well. Thank you so much for being on the show today. We really do appreciate it.
It's an honor, gentlemen, and you've got my email, and if you ever need me, you call me. And go Spurs. And, hey, let's go Brahmas, too. I hear that they win one more, we go to the playoffs. So let's everybody go out there and support your local teams and go Bernie Champion.
Thank you so much for being with us today, my man.
Good, gentlemen.
That is awesome. That's what we love about the show. We're positivity. We want to be uplifting for everybody. Don't get me wrong. Demon Mike sometimes shows up, and don't get me wrong. We talk sports and a variety of different things. But
I think we're a sports show too.
And keep in mind, here's who we've had over the last month. We've had Frank Harris from UTSA. We've had Ross and Marshall Von Erich. We've had Goldberg. James Leha will be on with Fernandez tomorrow.
Friday.
Yeah. The stories that we want to get is beyond the whole, post-game interview.
Yeah, beyond the world of sports. We want to know the human.
The interview with Goldberg could have gone in many different directions, right? But why bring up stuff that other people have done?
Yeah.
Why not just have a conversation about, I love having a conversation about his son. His son, talking about the fact that his son is playing in a high school baseball playoff game today, and he's supposed to be reporting next week in Colorado, where he's supposed to be playing college football for Deion Sanders.
Coach Prime.
And he's making that commitment to his high school baseball team that if we are still alive in the playoffs, even after graduation, even after the day I'm supposed to report in Boulder, I'm going to stand by my team. That's a great story. And the fact that his dad, Goldberg, is proud of him for that is amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing to hear. And the idea that, because I was looking up, he mentioned the star ratings and how his son, Gage, doesn't have a star rating. And he brought it up. He goes, he didn't go to the camps in the springtime because the dual sports. That was the thing when I was in high school, when you were in high school. It was about the dual sport athletes. You had these athletes who were football, wrestling, soccer, baseball, basketball, and they would go and they would letter in 4 or 5 sports, and then they'd go on to UT, or they'd go on to Nebraska or A&M or whatever and become the college badasses. Instead, right now, it's all about focusing on one sport, and it takes away from the experiences that they would have had. Deion Sanders was a 2-sport athlete, baseball and football. I'm sure he probably ran track as well. I mean, 4.2 140 is what he reportedly ran at the combine back in the day. But it's a throwback. And a lot of people in our comments were talking about the fact that how excited they were that he chose Boerne, that he chose the San Antonio area to call home. And it talks about like what people see in us, because sometimes I rag on the city of San Antonio. Yeah, I am a born and raised here, but sometimes the eyes from the outside looking in, it's a lot rosier sometimes. That's cool. That's cool.
Seems like everybody was like really digging this interview, man. And I mean, you listen to what Goldberg was saying, and like some of our listeners said, you're ready to run through a wall for this brother.
Exactly.
He's motivating you.
Yeah. I mean, he's talking about his cars, talking about his life, the veterans and what he's done out there, how he hates California, talking about how it's more difficult to film in California than it is in Texas or Georgia, for example. We're seeing that Louisiana's getting a lot of movies. Big movies are being done in Louisiana these days.
Yeah. They said you cut him off at Brahma's talk. I know Mike ain't gonna go to no Brahma's game, but I want to go to the Brahmas, man. I want to go see him.
It was funny when I went there a few weeks ago during Fiesta. They're like, "Are you here for the Fiesta Carnival or for the Brahmas?"
I'm here for both, brother. I'm here for both.
They said no tailgating. Is no tailgating allowed at the Brahmas games?
You can't tailgate. But you know what was funny, man? The last Fiesta, right? They had a Brahmas game the same Saturday that they were having the Fiesta Carnival. Mm-hmm. So you had people that weren't really tailgating. They were just sitting by their cars, just kind of sitting down, just chilling, kind of talking with each other, and folding chairs. There was no tents and barbecue pits and food and everything. They were just kind of chilling there.
They evicted you guys.
No, I was just walking. I went to the carnival with my family, right? Yeah. So I'm walking back, and I got like a fruit cup, and it's all dressed up and everything. And the ladies and the guys are like, "Where did you get that?" I said, "At the carnival." Bro, boom, they were gone. They bolted.
By the way, thank you for Goldberg we asked for him to be on at 10:30, and 10:10, we're logging onto the computer system, and he was already active.
Like, oh, he's here already.
He's here already.
Look at that. Thanks, Tex-Mex Frank, man. We appreciate you. He says, "Well done, gentlemen."
Evolution of the show, man. Evolution of the show. The next big catch that we need to get. Oh, by the way, thank you so much to Sean Quintero.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Sean.
PF Chang's as well for helping arrange all of this.
You gotta go hit up the happy hour over there.
3 to 6, baby. 3 to 6. They got happy hour specials over there, man. And they do an amazing job. They have $8 appetizers. They have specialty drinks going for $5. That goes through today, by the way. Today's the $5 special goes away, but either way, it's a good place to go eat, good place to go drink.
Look at Sith. I'm gonna go for join Mike for a jog now. Thanks, Goldberg,
for the shit splints. Dude, looking at all those vehicles that he had in the back, dude. I mean, what was like 20, 25?
Yeah, man.
Dude's living the dream.
Your testosterone level goes up when you hang around Goldberg, bro. You don't need the shot.
You don't need the shot. You don't need Blue Chew. No, you're hanging out with Goldberg.
Hanging out with Goldberg, listening to AC/DC, working on cars. I'd be able to hang out with that brother, dude. That's right up my alley.
I mean, that's a man's man, dude. That is, I mean, from he said a 3,000 square foot gym.
Yeah.
Okay. That's bigger than most houses. That's his gym. That's amazing.
How
the
much do you
cars.
think you'll make it through one of his workouts? We'd probably throw up like 5 minutes in or
Dude,
something.
I 5 minutes. I think Jeff Garcia, if
tap
I
out.
walked on Spurs, he would last about 12 minutes. I mean, double me.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's great because you see somebody. Think about that, man. And I thanked him in an email saying thank you for supporting local podcasting and local sports ventures, because fact of the matter is that this guy's a movie star, this guy is a TV star, this guy is a WWE legend, you know, and he is a star wherever he goes. And for him to take the time
Look
out
at Jefe.
is cool.
He's in the chat. I could hang in the gym with Goldberg.
Yeah, no, we said you would
Yeah,
for
you
about
could.
12 minutes.
12 minutes. I mean, that dude is ripped, man. He could lift Jefe like nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Bench press Jefe, me and you, like, man.
Yeah, who was that? Who was that wrestler that Goldberg lifted? He like military pressed him like 8 times in the middle of the ring.
I don't remember who that was.
Yeah, I remember that back in the day.
And
That
just
was
throw
kind
him
of
on
funny.
there like nothing. Get this
Yeah.
garbage out of here. Hey, man, I really did appreciate what he had to say about the Guerrero family, because they are good people, man. Eddie and Chavo and all the Guerrero family, and they knew that they were representing Latinos
Right.
across the nation, you know, and he knew the spotlight was on him. But man, Eddie in the ring, that was something special to see. He did one time, he had this one move that he did where they had knocked out the ref, right? And Eddie had the chair and he was about to dispatch his opponent. And he says, wait up. He saw the ref waking up. So he waited for his guy to get back up off the ring. And he slammed the damn chair on the ground in the ring. And then he threw it in the other guy's hands. And he landed on the ground. And as soon as the ref got up, he saw that. And he's just acting like he got hit. And he goes and says, ring the bell. And Eddie retains his title. I'm like, that's genius, bro.
That is so funny.
Oh, God.
Midtown Texas saying Goldberg motivated Mike to cut off his sleeves.
Oh, maybe Goldberg might motivate Mike to not wear an undershirt with the jersey.
No, Goldberg was the caveat. We talked about this yesterday because someone mentioned that he didn't have an undershirt wearing a Spurs jersey. When you got those pythons, when you got those arms and shoulders,
You don't wear it.
you don't wear it, dude. You gotta, you got it, you flaunt it, baby.
No, man. A lot of us over there at the Frost Center wearing the Spurs jerseys. I mean, we have some carnita hanging out of the jersey. You
Yeah.
know, come on. You got to wear the undershirt. Be scaring people, man.
I know, man.
There's kids around.
There's kids. So what do we want to talk about, man? We want to talk about sports. We want to talk about pop culture. We want to talk about nostalgia.
Talk about it, whatever we want to talk about, dude.
You know, the numbers are in. Caitlin Clark, she was a star the other night, man. I know she had 10 turnovers, had 20 points in her debut with in the WNBA with the Indiana Fever, but it was the most watched WNBA game since 2001. She's a star, man. She's our Angel Reese balling out yesterday.
She had a better showing than Caitlin.
Dude, they're walking in like it's the Met Gala. I mean, they're walking in going, we are not only athletes, but we are attractive and we're all that
Fashionistas,
Fashionista, dude.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Hey, man, WNBA is taking a page out of the NBA. When the guys come in, what is everybody doing? Looking to see what they're wearing.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like,
I mean, even Wemby's coming in with the slender man.
Oh, yeah,
look,
dude.
and he's done all that. I mean, WNBA is taking it up a level.
Yeah, taking
And
it up a notch. They're starting to give the men some competition there, bro.
2.3 million viewers for the Caitlin Clark debut with the Indiana Fever.
That's
They lost
nothing
92-71.
That's nothing to hang your, put your head down on.
For
That's
ESPN,
good.
for ESPN2.
That's great.
For
Dude.
ESPN2 is also on Disney Plus.
That's great.
The NFL schedules finally came
I
out.
saw, man. Did you see my Sancha team? The Houston Texans? My boy Pledger released that, dude. I saw that, man.
Okay, well, first of all, let's talk about the Cowboys first because their schedule has gotten released. And
I saw.
fact of the matter is that we'll get to the Houston Texans. The Texans, they're getting no favors from the NFL. 2 short weeks, 2 Thursday games, brutal. They better go 3-0 to start the season, or they're not making the playoffs. Week 1, Cowboys on the road against the LA Rams over at SoFi. Then they're on the road again, week 2 against the Raiders. So 2 back-to-back games on the road. Then they come home. They have let's see here. Oh, that's preseason. I'm sorry. Week 1, they start off against the Browns.
Yep, Sunday, September the 8th, 3:25.
So the first preseason game is the 11th of August. The 17th of August, they've got one against the Raiders. And then they've got the Chargers in Jerry World, week 3 of the preseason. Week 1 of the regular season, Cleveland Browns on the road. It's a 3:25 kickoff. Then they have week 2 at Jerry World, the first game at Jerry World this year against the New Orleans Saints. I have friends telling me already to make it a road trip for that game, not only because I'm a Saints fan, that's my team, but because UTSA plays the Texas Longhorns at DKR the day before. So you can go up 35 north, watch the UTSA game, spend the night or take off from there, go to Dallas, spend the night over there, then watch the Cowboys take on the Saints. That would be amazing. Week 3, Baltimore Ravens come into town.
Ew.
Then on the road against the Giants, and then on the road against the Steelers, home against the Lions. Man, that's a strong start to the season, man. The first 6 games for the Cowboys. They have a bye in week 7. Then they're on the road at San Fran, on the road at Atlanta. Then they've got the Eagles. Oh, my God. This team might not make the playoffs, man. Then they host the Texans. They got the Bengals later on. They've got the Eagles and the Commanders to end the year. Dude, the Cowboys aren't making the playoffs, dude.
Look at this, Tavarius. Better start Lance. Dak ain't it. And you know when? I'm looking over here in the battle for Texas, dude. That Monday game, November the 18th against the Texans.
Yeah.
That's the battle for Texas right there. You know, that's going to be a hotly contested game. And you know that Michael Parsons and CJ Strouder, they're friends. They got that podcast going, dude. So that's great, man. But you know, one of these things that I'm looking at, and I'm looking at the schedule early on, you can't even say that, oh, the Cowboys should have an easy win against the Browns. The Browns ain't the same team they used to be, man.
Not.
They're a good team. The Saints,
that's
a good matchup.
The Saints are not as good as the Cowboys. Saints were 9-8 last season. They've got some pieces. The problem with the Saints is the offensive line, but they got a ton of offensive line talent in the draft. If that can actually hold up, then there might be a game. Some pretty decent wideouts there for the Cowboys to have to chase down.
Yeah.
It's going to be a difficult game, but I think the Cowboys probably would beat the Saints.
I think it's going to be a close game.
But look at the Texans. They better be 3-0 because they've got the Colts, the Bears, and the Vikings to start the season. Then they got the Jaguars. Go 3-1, go 4-0. You're going to make the playoffs because after that, Buffalo comes to Houston. Then they go on the road to New England. Then they go on the road to Green Bay. Then they come home to play the Colts, the Jets. But the way the season ends, Lions,
brutal.
Cowboys, Dolphins, Chiefs, Ravens. Dude, towards week 16, week 15, they have a bye week 14. Then they've got the Dolphins on the road against the Chiefs. And then they host Baltimore on Christmas, which, by the way, is going to be the game that's going to be on Netflix.
Yeah.
One of the 2 games. They've got 2 Thursday night games, which means they have 2 short weeks. One of them against the Ravens on Christmas. This schedule for the Texans is absolutely brutal.
Man, if they make the wild card of the playing, or they make the playoff, should I say?
Yeah.
This team will be battle tested, dude.
They would be very much so.
Battle-tested.
They had their other Thursday night game is Halloween night on the road against the Jets. Scary schedule.
That's it. Turn the pot off. Saints ain't as good as the Cowboys. I mean, come on, man. Who are we kidding here?
I mean, this is what it is. I mean, I'm just being honest. I mean, my team, but the thing about my Saints, the Saints have the easiest schedule in all the NFL this year. They're going to go 9-8, 10-7, just simply because they have an easy schedule.
Cowboys are going to win 7 to 8 games this season, dude. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't see them making the playoffs.
Nah.
I think the window has closed. And then the big question is going to be, are they going to sign Dak during their time at Oxnard?
No. Jerry ain't doing that, dude. Jerry is going to stand pat, and he's going to tell Dak, well, you want to come back here, you got to earn it. You got to win the big one. Jerry will pay you if you win the big game. I think the relationship between Dak and Jerry is kind of soured a little bit, dude.
I think so too. I think they're tired of each other. It's like a marriage that's gone too long. There's no love there anymore.
There's respect, a mutual respect, but as far as the love goes, Jerry's talking to the media too much. He needs to shut his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think he's already done too much damage there, and I don't think Dak feels appreciated here. And they're gonna run him out of Dallas. He's gonna go somewhere else. And like you said, the irony will be what he goes on to have a great career.
Yeah,
maybe he takes that other team,
takes the Raiders, or he takes
to the Super
the
Bowl.
Jets. Golf major started this morning. The PGA Championship taking place over in Louisville, Kentucky, the Valhalla Golf Club. Last year, the reigning champ was Brooks Koepka. Right now, Xander Schauffele is running away with it.
No,
Can we end this tournament now? He's 8 under over 14 holes right now. 8 under through 14. Robert McIntyre right now is second, along with Tony Finau. Jordan Spieth, Longhorn, tied for 4th right now at 3 under. Other big names, Rory McIlroy in 8th place at 2 under right now. Hideki Matsuyama and Cameron Smith also at 2 under. Victor Hovland is 2 under right now. Brooks Koepka, who's the reigning champ, 1 under through 10. Going to see what Tiger Woods is doing. Tiger Woods, y'all. Reports are that Tiger Woods was out there 6 days early getting practice in. Right now, Tiger is in 32nd place. Not too bad. He's even through 13. Let's take a look at some other big names they're going. Some haven't even started, by the way.
No.
Some of the big names don't get going until later on today. We've got Phil Mickelson tees off at 101. Colin Morikawa also at 101. Ricky Fowler gets going at 112. John Rahm at 112. Cam Young at 112. Big names coming down the stretch, but right now, as we mentioned earlier, at 8 under, Xander Schauffele, your leader through 15.
There we go.
Nice talking to Goldberg about the Spurs.
It was nice talking to him about the Spurs, man.
You know, before we get to that real fast, let's give some love to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs, because he is your guy for your daily Spurs content.
Yeah, that he is. So we're going to go get him some love right now. Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on Threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow, not only on Threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@Locked On Spurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
I follow on Spotify and YouTube, and you should too. He just had a tweet right now saying that Tyrese Maxey of the Philadelphia 76ers won the Joe Dumars Trophy for NBA sportsmanship. Spurs guard Trey Jones was one of the finalists for the award. He also has an article on Kens5.com talking about how there is a reporter for, I believe, Yahoo Sports, who says that the Spurs have shown very little interest in obtaining the services of Trae Young, that maybe it's too rich for their blood. Now, I found this to be interesting, and I'm going to find this on my phone because I'm pretty sure I saved it. There's an interesting mock draft that I saw that came out this morning on BleacherReport.com. And this is trying to predict what would happen on draft night, which, again, is about 6 weeks from today. And it was saying that there should be 5 trades in the first round, and they have the Spurs conducting 2 of them.
Okay.
All right. So according to Bleacher Report, their mock draft today, they have number 1, the Atlanta Hawks taking Alex Sarr, center from France. Okay, we've heard that all around, right? Number 2, they have the Wizards taking the often injured point guard Nikola Topic from Serbia. At number 3, they believe that there would be a trade between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Houston Rockets. They're suggesting that the Grizzlies give the number 3 pick, Jock Landale, and Jayshawn Tate in exchange for the number 9 pick and Marcus Smart. And with the 3 pick, Memphis would select Donovan Clingan, the center out of Connecticut, rather.
Okay.
At number 4, with the Spurs pick, Zachary Rissarche from France, but traded to Atlanta. So they would have the Spurs getting Zachary Rissarche, Zach Collins, Keldon Johnson, get back their 2025 first-round draft pick that the Spurs own of Atlanta's, and get back the 2026 swap in exchange for Trae Young. Now, the Spurs would still maintain, if that was to happen, the 2027 first-round draft pick of Atlanta, basically saying, instead of you getting your 3 picks back that we got for DeJounte We'll give you 2 of your picks back, and we'll give you the one that we got in a trade earlier, in the past. Or actually, give us the one that we had, the number 4 pick that we won in the lottery. Number 5, Matas Buzelis going to the Detroit Pistons, the small forward from the G League Ignite. Number 6, Charlotte Hornets, selecting point guard Reed Shepard from Kentucky. And at number 7, Dalton Connect of Tennessee going to Portland. At number 8, another trade. This one does make sense, though. Says the Spurs draft Rob Dillingham and immediately trade him to the New York Knicks.
In exchange for?
The Knicks have 2 first-rounders this year, the number 24 and 25 pick, and that the Spurs would take those 2 instead. So, Keldon Johnson, Zach Collins, Reese Arche, a swap, and a pick for Trae Young. Sign me up.
Not bad. I know we know people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And work for the Spurs, whatnot, and all this and that. And everybody's saying, the rumor mill, oh, the Spurs are not looking for Trae Young. They're not looking to make any deals for Trae Young. I can tell you probably what's happening right now is that the Spurs, they are trying to get Trae Young, right? But the thing is, they're not willing to go all in. So if a deal happens, great. If it doesn't, they're not in any rush. They don't need to be. Right. There's no need for them to go ahead and bet the house and just get Trae Young. I know Spurs fans are enamored with this, and we say things like, hey, let's go ahead and take a look at these different scenarios. But from the Spurs perspective, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, no big deal. They still got the 4th and the 8th pick in the draft.
The problem that we have here, and I was going back and forth with people on Twitter yesterday, was the fact that the Spurs, what I fear about the Spurs is that it's going to be paralysis by analysis.
Yeah.
Which basically means you think too much and therefore you do nothing. And that's the problem because, it's one thing to have all these players, right? And hopefully one of them or 2 of them pan out. But the fact of the matter is that it's difficult to have 2 or 3 first rounders in any given year because all their contracts mature at the same time. And if you're going to try to extend all 3 of them, let's say that they all do hit, you need to stagger out these contracts so that some expire in various years. But if they're all coming up at one time, like a couple of years ago, we had Sohan, Blake Wesley, and we had Malachi Branham all drafted at the same year. It's going to be hard to keep all 3 at one time.
Yeah.
Now, they're under contract for the next 2 seasons, but if the Spurs want to keep them, chances are they're going to have to kick 1 or 2 to the curb because it's hard to keep re-signing your own when the bill comes due all at the same time, is what I'm saying. Spurs right now could have 4 first rounders next year. Atlanta's, Spurs own. You've got Charlotte's top 14 protected and Chicago's top 10. To be honest with you, and I hate to say it, if it's too rich for Trae Young and we don't get one of the top free agents this year, whether it be Pascal Siakam or it be Simons, one of those types of players, stay put, man. Just wait for 2025.
Yeah, exactly. So just wait till 2025.
And just hope that Wemby is not going to get pissed.
This is going to be year 2 of Wemby. I'm telling you.
2 of 4.
Year 3 Wemby. That's when things are going to get real.
Year 3 Wemby will be like,
hey,
I'm the captain now.
Y'all need to get me some help, or I'm just going to go into the office before we start summer camp,
right?
Summer training camp, and he's going to be like, trade me. I'm out. You think he's going to want to be here for what, another 4 years? They're going to give him an extension. He can decline it and be like, y'all haven't put enough people around me. Why do I want to be here for 4 more years?
He could decline it. Well, actually, it would be a restricted contract, restricted free agent, so the Spurs can match, but an upset player is not one that you want to have.
Exactly.
Sean Quintero reaches out to us and saying that we may need to reformat this show if I'm talking crap about the Spurs and Cowboys at the same time. I'm just keeping it real, baby. Just keeping it puro.
Most Spurs fans are delusional. They don't want anybody. They think Dillingham is the second coming of Michael Jordan.
No one's saying that. He's the second coming of Kemba Walker.
Kemba Walker's not bad.
Yeah, I like Kemba, dude.
Yeah, right.
The bucket getter.
Yeah, he's
Hey, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was a freak of nature.
Yeah, and this draft, you're not. I don't know if you're going to have a generational talent. You'll have pieces that you can surround good center. Let's say an anchor with, like Wemby, for example, and some of the other teams that need help.
And also, the elephant in the room. Nobody wants to play for Pop.
Oh God, man, you and Pop, bro.
Dude, I mean, he took up to the microphone to tell people to stop booing.
Don't boo Kawhi.
Don't boo Kawhi. You're better than this.
So are you, Coach Pop? Let us. We pay to be here. You can't tell us what we can do.
Yeah,
I mean,
and Pop isn't the only coach that's like that. Look at Tom Thibodeau with the Tibbs. He's the most hated coach in all of the NBA. And guess what? It hurts their ability to get talent. Because, I mean, he has a good city that people want to go play at, but no one wants to go play for Tibbs. And the only way that they're getting players is by trade. I don't think anybody wants to play with Pop anymore. Not in 2024. 2013, 2014, when LaMarcus Aldridge decided, 2015, whenever that was, that he wanted to come over. Great. Pop was still relatively in his prime. Not anymore. Not anymore. And with all these guys, you're telling me that I have to go to San Antonio, a city that might not be so exciting, but on top of that, I'm going to be muzzled when it comes to my social media. I'm not going to be able to do a podcast. I'm not going to be able to do this and the other. Why would I want to do that?
Yeah. Well, I guess you're not going to be going to give Coach Pop his roses when he decides to retire and they go ahead and maybe do something nice for him at the game.
Well, I mean, he does deserve his roses. I mean, he has 5 chips. And it's one of those things where we're being tested to the point of, they say you should never, he should be able to make his exit whenever he wants to make his exit. But what if he never wants to make the exit? That's the problem that we have. That's the problem that we have. So tomorrow, I cannot believe we're going to do this. We're going to have an update on Boerne Champion against Kerrville Tivy baseball tonight.
Yeah, we got a super chat,
dude,
from Midtown, Texas. Thanks for the super chat. Mike is right. Nobody wants to play for Pop. That's what he says. I'm
excited for Goldberg's kid, man. I'm excited for him.
Maybe you can be watching the game today.
I'm excited. I mean, that's a big game. I want to see him do well. And I'm glad that Goldberg was on the show today because first and foremost, he's supporting not only the veterans, but he's also supporting us as a small podcasting network. It's good times, man. This was a good show, Joe. This was a good show.
Yeah, all the shows they've been pretty fire lately, man. Like I said, I think we finally hit our stride, bro.
We are.
Yeah.
We are. Okay, so explain to me, we're going to be missing the show this week, right?
So tomorrow, I'm going to be heading to Houston. You right? I'm going to be going to Houston. I'll be there for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, coming back on Sunday. So I'm not going to be here. So we're not going to be able to do the show here in studio. Like I told you, it's up to you. You can still go ahead and get the login. You can do the show from the home. If you'd like, you can have USOA mascot Duncan with you, your boy.
We'll figure that one out.
And that's up to you. But I mean, tomorrow we are going to be releasing the full interview of the Jesse James Leja talking with Fernandez, Rick Fernandez on our YouTube channel. So that'll be out.
How did that all come about?
Rick, man, that's all Rick, dude. Rick and Steph, they put it together. Rick went ahead and reached out to, Jesse James, and that's something he had been working on for quite some time. And we had really bad, let's say, technical issues. The one time that we did get him on for a Friday show, and we had to reschedule. Thankfully, Jesse James was gracious enough to give us a second chance. So we went ahead and made it happen, dude. I mean, I told Rick, hey, things happen for a reason. I'm glad that we got that second opportunity. It was a great interview.
That's good, man. That's good. People are asking the question, is this show already over? Well, first of all, 1 year anniversary of the Spurs getting Victor Wembanyama, winning the NBA draft lottery. And we're being at the Rue Pub with the San Antonio Sports Star Peeps. Posted video and photos of the night that happened. Where were you, Joe, when the Spurs won the lottery?
I was here, man. I was watching it all unfold in real time, and I have a video of myself on Instagram. I got me a live reaction, and my family all made fun of me because I put it out on Instagram.
Oh, really?
And I said, let's effing go. So if you look behind the door right here,
yeah,
where I have messages and stuff, because my sister-in-laws all like to outdo each other, and my family does too. They put let's effing go. Yeah, my sister-in-law's making fun of me. So that was a good time, dude. I enjoyed it.
To various reaching out and saying, shout out from Mobile, Alabama. We on the road. We got the Netherlands in the house. We got Alabama on the in the house. D'Lo saying, Mike's solo show. You got to show SA Sports Star what they missed out on. Solo shows, dude. That was, doing a solo show. I like talking to Joe and having someone to bounce off of. There were some shows when I was at San Antonio Sports Star, several of them, when they were like, we don't want you talking to anybody. We don't want you talking to Edwin or Pledger or bringing Minix in or bringing Ryan Eagle in or whatever. They would say, we just want to see you do stuff by yourself. Dude, it's lonely, man. It is lonely.
Look, it's Berlandis. San Diego in the house.
San Diego
representing,
in the house.
Man.
That's true. That's true.
And we're getting people from all over. I know we have several other international listeners, too. I think we had one from the Philippines.
Chris, are we going to celebrate your 1 year layoff, Mike?
Your walking papers.
We'd like for you to take a 40% pay cut. No, I'm good.
All right, this is your last show. Vamonos.
Vamonos.
And give me your key card on the way out.
You know what I did? What I didn't say about me being laid off from San Antonio Sports Star. If there was one thing that pissed me off. Again, they asked me to take a pay cut. I said no. There was differences of opinion on what content.
Direction of the show, kind of speak.
They wanted to take away my flavor of the show and make it vanilla. But the one thing that I hated, there's only one thing that pissed me off about the show, about being let go, was that I went in that morning to produce my show, and they actively saw me producing my show.
Yeah.
Like putting it together, putting down a rundown, getting my reads done, doing research. And 5 minutes before my show started, they laid me off. I was like, didn't you MFers know that you were going to let me go at 8 a.m.? You could have just told me not to come in.
Yeah. Hey, no need to come in. You're good.
Instead, they saw me work and put the headphones on to do my show. And then I got the hook. I got the axe 3 minutes before I was supposed to go on air.
Jeez, bro.
And Pledger's looking at me like, what the hell just happened?
I got canned.
Yeah. I'm like, I guess I'm gone. And he's like, what? And they're telling Pledger, throw on national whatever. It was crazy, dude. Jesse A reaches out and says, Jim Rome sucks. I was a big fan of Jim Rome in 1998.
Yeah, he's run his course, bro. I didn't even know he was still on the air.
You know what? Minix made fun of me in person the other day when I saw him. He goes, dude, you were fanboying over him, over Jim Rome. I was like, I'm fanboying out of nostalgia, not because I listened to him. I haven't listened to Jim Rome in forever, dude. What are we at right now when it comes to subscribers?
We picked up another one, so let me take a look here. See what the YouTube tells me now.
885, dude. We picked up 4 today.
Man, we picked another couple up there, so that's good.
We're 115 away, baby. We might be about, let's see, what are we? July 4th weekend?
Yeah.
We might be at about 1,000 by then.
Yeah.
Well, how are we going to celebrate?
I don't know, man. Hey, it'd be funny, though, if we do hit like 1,000. One thing that me and you can do for fun, because you like to karaoke, we could have a karaoke off. You sing one song, I sing one song. We let the listeners decide.
Oh, no, we got to do that at an actual karaoke place.
Okay, we could do that at an actual karaoke place. Maybe we get some video of it, throw it up, and let the listeners vote on who was better.
Chris Lehouse says $100 gift card to Burger Boy.
Damn.
When we hit 1,000 subscribers.
Thank you, Christopher Leha, man. You know what?
Sam Salinas, Jim Rome is the pop of radio.
Oh, Lord, man.
It's
Jesus.
Oh my God, Mario Cavazos. It's the Cracker Barrel of sports talk radio. Sports Star,
dude. I freaking hate me some Cracker Barrel, man. If you've ever been,
dude, I love the Cracker Barrel, man.
It's bland as hell, bro.
What are you talking about? What are you ordering?
Man.
The pecan pancakes at the Cracker Barrel are legit.
I ain't having none of that, dude. That place sucks, man.
Yeah, it's funny because young people hate the Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, it's awful, man. I hate it too.
Well, they hate it because they don't like the vibes of the place.
No, I don't like it either.
I mean, it's
all right.
I mean, you got all the rocking chairs in the front, and then you've got to go through that nasty ass store that's in the front.
There ain't no flavor, bro.
Got $12 candy in there.
And there ain't no flavor there.
Got Reba McEntire on cassette.
food's bland, man.
Dude, the food's fine, dude.
No.
The food is fine.
Ain't got no spice to it, bro. I'm
Dude,
I'm Latino, bro.
Not everything's a taqueria, man. What did I
What's the
have?
spice?
What did I have coming in today?
I don't know what you had.
Bill Miller's tacos.
Bill Miller's tacos.
Or there's tacos there. There's tacos.
Oh, man, I went to the little Jalisco over here off of Petrenco, dude.
I wanted the diabetes in a cup, dude. I wanted the tea.
I had to have my papa ranchera today, dude. I was craving a papa ranchera, so I went and got that.
I have a business meeting tomorrow over at Sazon.
Oh, hey, Sazon's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I like Sazon.
Okay, so yesterday I was over at the TPC San Antonio.
Yeah.
And I was invited for a free golf lesson.
They were whining and dining you guys.
Yeah, they were. And they brought out the fireball.
Oh, no, bro. Ugh.
And dude, it was so funny because I posted the video on my Twitter at MJ Acquired Taste. I posted the video on there. They had me on the golf range, on the driving range, and I was sucking bad, dude. I was awful. I mean, I hit a few good shots, but I would say probably for every good shot, there were 3 bad ones, right? Then they brought out the Golf Pro. They put me in this like simulator type of thing where they were videotaping what I was doing and the angle of this and the other. And of course, when I was in there with all the pressure and this Golf Pro looking at me and staring me down, and he had all these cameras in all these different directions looking at me, I hit him perfect. Like no big deal. He did change my grip a bit. Straight down the fairway, man. Had a 7-iron that I hit about 155. Straight down the fairway. It was great.
Cracker Barrel fried chicken is great. No, bro.
It's all right. I've had it before.
It ain't no Bush's
right.
chicken with that serendipity seasoning, dude.
You're trying to compare apples and oranges,
No,
man.
man.
You know, you got that whole...
In fact, I'm going to go get me some of that freaking Bush's chicken right after the show, man.
Let me ask you this. When it comes to fried chicken, when was the last time you ate at Church's Chicken?
Oh, man, it's probably been about a year ago. The only reason I get it is really...
No, not eat Church's Chicken.
Yeah.
Eat at Church's Chicken.
I haven't done that since I lived in the hood over there with my mom.
Remember back in the day?
Yeah. Hey, I used to have one that was like right around the corner from me because I lived off of 5 Palms and Valley High, right over there by Pearsall Road and Ray Ellison. So I used to walk right down my street, and go around the corner. Dude, Church's back in the day had like the best $1 chicken sandwich ever, dude. That thing slapped, bro. It was good.
I don't mind eating at Bush's Chicken, like literally physically eating there, but I'm not going to eat at Church's.
Why not?
It's just, no, man. It's
you
ghetto.
Feel greasy?
It's ghetto. I saw 2 funny tweets the other day. One was saying, how are we saying RIP to Red Lobster, but Fred's Fish Fry is still around?
No. I didn't say it.
Almost.
I didn't.
And then I saw another one from this. I forgot her name on Twitter. She posted, "If she don't know about Bennigan's, she's too young for you."
Dude, remember Bennigan's, dude? Bennigan's. Wow, that's a throwback, man. Hey, but I got to tell you, man. Red Lobster. We have one right here around the corner, right on Marbach, on that access road of 410. I got to go there, man, before they shut it down for good. Got to give me my last taste of the cheddar biscuits, man.
Yeah, they're slashing restaurant locations, man.
50 across the nation so far.
50 across the nation. And I know that Chili's is struggling a little bit.
That's why they got that deal that they have, the 3 for $10 meal deal, whatever.
Yeah.
We had that the other time, like a couple weeks ago. The wife and the kids decided they wanted to go somewhere. Let's go to Chili's. It was terrible, bro. Awful.
Sith is asking the question, who's going to charge Goldberg for the swear jar? I ain't asking him.
You go ahead and collect that $1, brother.
He didn't cuss. He just said, what did he say? He said,
prick.
Prick. Yeah, prick is fine, man. If you can say prick on ABC, I like the fact that he laughed about me bringing up the fact that he was Coach Meller's brother on the Goldbergs. He laughed at it because that was such a great
role for him.
Great role for him, right? And it was the fact that you had these 2 brothers who hated each other, but they really loved each other, and they were estranged. They wanted to reconnect, but one wouldn't budge and make the first move. What a funny episode that was.
Chelsea's Pub at Ingram Mall, bro.
Dude, I used to get drunk over there.
You get wasted there, bro. Bad. Chelsea's Pub. That was a go-to. I know half.
That was like $5 pitchers.
Oh,
it was
awful, man. Awful.
They had live music over there.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying it was just you get so stinking drunk there, dude.
And it's funny because you go by there now, and now it's like a bodega now. You got like you can buy gum and magazines there.
If she don't remember the lobster tank at Walmart, she too young for you.
Oh, the lobster,
Lord,
lobster tank at That's probably why young people don't want to go. They don't want to see the animal that they're going to eat. They don't want to know that it was alive 4 minutes ago. They don't want to make it a game where you catch it. It's weird, man. Times have changed.
They have a restaurant like that over in New York. I forgot what they called it, but you get to go in the restaurant, right? It's a seafood restaurant. They give you a fishing rod, and you have a little pond there. You get to throw the line in and catch your fish. Yeah, I want to eat this. I'm like, oh, God.
Let me ask you a question about certain restaurants in town.
Yeah.
Are they really good or not? Okay, so
Which one?
So maybe this is a Twitter poll. I'm going to throw one out at you. Little Red Barn.
It's all right.
Is it good?
It's all right.
It's all right. Why do we all go there?
Because it's a San Antonio staple.
Dude.
Just like Mi Terra, dude.
Well,
Pico de Gallo.
Okay. Oh, well, I mean, I don't mind those places.
They're all right.
They're
all right. You go for the atmosphere, bro. That food is not legit, dude. It's all right.
You go to the shrine of the Virgin Mary along with Selena. That's funny. They have that at Mi Tierra.
Virgen de Guadalupe.
Okay, Little Red Barn. When they give you the salad, it's just lettuce and Thousand Island and one big ass wedge of tomato.
Yeah,
it's not sliced tomato or diced
like a chunk.
It's like a chunk,
like a cake chunk.
It's like they cut it in fours. It's basically what they did.
Not even thin slice, bro.
Not even the little round ones.
It's got the seeds in it and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get the steak, and the steak is always tough.
It's all right.
And the baked potato is
it's dry.
The place is mid, but we go there all the time and have birthday parties. I'm like, why?
Right. You know which one is better? The other steakhouse over there on the south side, the one that you went to, with the Hungry Farmer. That one's good. That one's legit.
Hungry Farmer, I went to about a month ago or so.
Yeah, it's legit.
Hit and miss. Bud Jones is hit and miss.
Dude, Bud Jones. Don't be slandering my Bud Jones, bro. That chicken fried steak they got over there in that Mexican plate.
Hit or miss, dude.
No, that place is good, bro.
It hits more than it misses, but I hate to say it doesn't hit every time.
That's good, man. That the chicken fried steak falling off of the plate,
Are we talking trash about the South Side?
Man,
Jeff Garcia going to reach out at us?
I grew up on the South Side.
No, it was Jeff Garcia. Heffa going to get mad at it.
He probably will. I'm going to tell him.
What do we bring up? Don Pedro's.
Don Pedro's is all right.
Dude, Don Pedro's was better before they had the new addition to it all.
But
the old school Don Pedro's was really good.
Yeah, but they have on the south side of town, you have those little other like hole in the wall places that you can go to off the beaten trail. They have some good food, man.
What's that one restaurant? The original Ninfas on the south side. That one is really good. I know they have another one over here off of 410 and Evers. But the Ninfas over on the south side, right across from Mission San Jose, that place is good, dude. That place is real good.
Don Pedro is okay. It's all right.
Ooh, we have a controversial take from Sam Salinas. Chris Madrid's is highly overrated.
I will second that.
Okay, it's good, though.
It's all right.
No, it's beyond all right. It's good.
It's all right.
It's good.
It's
a B+. Nah,
it's all right. I've gone there before, bro. And
you know what's all right?
You
know what's all right? China Rose.
China Rose is good.
No, China Rose is all right, dude. It is all right.
I ain't going to stand for no China Rose slander here, bro.
Ding Hao is better than China Rose.
Well, then you go pay Ding Hao prices because I'm going to get the same thing at a Golden Walk or over here at the Rose over here for cheaper, bro. They have the guac over here, too. Was it the Golden Walk? That one's pretty good.
Do you know what else is trash? Denny's.
Oh, yeah, man.
I went to the Denny's in Vegas last few months ago. The Denny's in Vegas is fine, but trash. Mostly, I go to the ones on like 410 and Culebra and 410 and Ingram. Like, there's like two right next to each other for some reason.
Golden Walk ain't it? It's all right.
Waffle House. Incredible. Waffle House might be one of my 5 favorite restaurants in the world.
Waffle House.
I love Waffle House.
There's a Waffle House when you're going from Louisiana or even like near Houston area. From there, straight shot up the East Coast, Louisiana, Mississippi.
Every exit, baby. It's
Alabama.
It's like Whataburger.
They got them like every 10 feet.
Every exit. There was a place called China Star on Babcock and Callahan. Now, that was some good hole-in-the-wall Chinese.
Hey, man, remember the Golden Star, the one downtown? That used to be good back in the day. The Golden Star, man, the one downtown.
I don't think
Chinese restaurant.
I don't think I ever went to that one.
That's all right. It used to be good, man.
They used to have those Vietnamese places right across from the Woody Museum.
Oh, yeah.
Those were pretty good back in the day, man. I don't think they're around anymore.
I thought that would be too ghetto for him.
Which one?
The Golden Star.
The Golden Star or the Waffle House?
The tacos, Jack in the Box are the best. Those things are nasty as hell, but they're good, especially when you've had a little night of drinking,
ass, dude.
I'll tell you one thing, man. This is the one thing me and my boys do, and we're the ones that started this. We call it the Jack McNasty when you're drunk as hell. So you go and get you a jumbo jack, and you get you a couple orders of those tacos.
Don't put them together,
dude. You get the taco and you put it inside the jumbo jack, and you put some buttermilk on that sucker with some hot sauce. Woo, boy, that thing slaps.
That's gross.
No, bro, that thing is good, especially when you drunk off your ass. That's good food.
That reminds me of my. I'm gonna be controversial here with this take. My ex used to do this. She used to make a sandwich, ham and cheese, whatever, right?
Yeah, and
then would put like a bunch of potato chips inside of there, and then crunch it down.
That's gross.
And I'm like, what is this ghetto ass stuff, dude?
No, man.
Putting the chips inside the sandwich. Come on, man. What are you, 12?
No,
Grow up, Peter Pan.
What's ghetto is mixing, like, you don't have any meat and anything, right? You want a real authentic ramen.
Yeah.
And I've seen my boy do this before. They get some freaking bologna, they fry it up, and they get the ramen, and they put the bologna, they cut it up in slices and put it in there. That's freaking nasty.
Okay,
dude.
First of all, who's buying bologna these days?
People still buy the bologna.
Who buys bologna?
Gross. It's gross.
Like Oscar Mayer bologna?
Yes, bro. It's gross.
Because like when I go to the HEB deli, do they sell bologna in the deli?
I don't even know, dude.
Like, I mean,
HEB still sells it.
Consciously buy it still.
They have it at the deli.
Gross.
They do have it. Like where you go and cut, they get the meat cut and all that, the meat counter. They have that big old tube of freaking bologna. You can get cut.
I never see somebody go, maybe it's because I go to the hoity-toity one on 211. Yes, I like to have
jail food.
I'd like to have a pound of bologna. Does Boar's Head make bologna? Because I don't think they do.
Jeez, bro. Chips and sandwich. Hit at the pool though. Oh man, God, bro.
Yeah,
bologna on a corn tortilla over fire. Damn.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez, that's what that meat is made out of.
Don't get me started on wieners and egg. I can't stand that.
That's a San Antonio staple, bro.
Okay, I'll eat the wiener and a hot dog. I'll eat it with a tortilla wrap, right?
No wiener and egg.
But wiener and egg.
You know what makes me do that? And I hate this, and people love it. And they're like, "Why do you hate weenie soup?" Weenie soup.
What is weenie soup?
Tastes like, bro. It reminds me of when I grew up and we had no food. Right when we were poor.
Yeah.
There was nothing else to eat. My mom would cook up weenie soup, which is weenie cut up, a can of tomato sauce, some carrots and peas. You mix it all together, and that was your meal. I hate that stuff.
First of all, that is jail food right there.
Hey, man, that's sometimes we're tough, bro. That's all you had. That's all you had. Got to make the best of it. That is disgusting, dude.
You know what's disgusting? Wheat bread.
Oh, no, that's pretty good,
wheat
bro.
bread.
No.
Oh, my God. Someone brings out wheat bread. It tastes like no one loves you.
Look at that. Everybody's like, what the hell? What the hell are we talking about?
Oh, yeah. We just went off on a tangent over here. Talking about, we went from Southside slander.
What the hell is weenie soup, bro? You ain't been that poor. You ain't poor.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to say that didn't exist anywhere else, dude. I think that was just this household.
Weenie soup is my rap name. Oh Lord. Lulu's or Jailhouse Cafe. I don't even know of Lulu's. Lulu's shut down. They don't even have that open anymore. That's where you used to get the big old cinnamon roll.
Oh, dude, Lulu's cinnamon roll is like the size of a hubcap.
But that place was disgusting, dude. You talk about dirty. That place was filthy,
yeah,
man.
It was.
It was nasty.
And you order your food, it might come out in about an hour and a half.
Oh, it take forever. Yeah. Forever. And it wasn't even good. Only the cinnamon roll.
Cinnamon roll's good.
That's about it.
Well, I gotta take. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna talk about this real fast. If you can go
show it.
Show it. Controversial take, because inside the NBA, more than likely is going away because NBC and Peacock are buying the rights to the NBA action that's typically on TNT. So many people are out there crying that NBA on TNT is going away, right? Ernie Johnson, who I like, Kenny Smith, Shaq, Charles Barkley. Am I the only one to think that maybe this is kind of just an overrated show? Like, this show is completely overrated. I don't watch it. Like, why do I find Kenny Smith and Shaq and Barkley. I don't get entertained by any of this. I'm fine seeing the show go away. I didn't like it to begin with. It's overrated. It's not funny. It's not educational. Ernie Johnson was the best part of that show, and I would say Kenny Smith were the best parts of the show. I'm not going to miss Shaq. I'm not going to miss Barkley. I'm not going to miss Draymond Green filling in. Move on.
They'll hire some other people, and they're going to start something new over there at the NBC, with the NBA on NBC.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that if they wanted to go ahead and bring these guys over, money will cure all, especially with Ernie Johnson. Bro, the only loyalty you have is to that almighty dollar. Come on,
That's
bro.
what I'm talking about. Times will change, baby.
Yeah.
I got to get back to the grind. Everyone have a fantastic day. We're going to figure out whether we can have a show tomorrow or not.
Yeah.
Do I want to do it solo?
That's up to you, man. Maybe you can have a guest. You could still get Fernandez on. He can go on. He could talk sports, whatever else.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. But my name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. Thank you so much to the legendary Goldberg for being on today. Thank you again, P.F. Changs. Thank you again, Sean Quintero, for setting this up. This is the Alamo City Sportscast. Hit the like button on the way out. Feel free to tip with the QR code on the top. And also, share. Let people know that we had Goldberg on. Share the interview. It was fantastic. It was fun. It's something that we'll never forget. And you look at this show, I'm telling you, what do we say? Best damn sports show in town?
Yeah.
We're proving it. This is the Alamo City Sportscast. See you guys tomorrow. I'll do it solo.
All right, there you go. You heard it here. See you boys out.